How about my dearest YouTube friends? Today we are in a new video a little later than normal, and friends, today I had a soccer match with my company and we won, and we are already in the semifinals for next week. But hey, in this case, well, I have to do this week number 3 of the secondary mission of the multiversal path and also one of the variance chamber 3. Okay, so in this case, it will remind us, friends, that we have to be calling our JMEM that we have it every 4 days, every week, and we have 4 of them to be able to enter this side mission. As you can see there, we have Dr. Dam for this week 3. In this case, we are going to give him the level 5 threat as we always usually do, and we are going to put in the characters they ask us to. Here, I recommend that you include characters that are from the saga. It's okay to put that 4 of the Fantastic Four since they are going to benefit us in different nodes. Okay, you're going to see it right now. I think we are going to put Count Nezaria on Kindle. And come on, we are going to put a little bit of Tigra in case there is something cosmic that can bother us. Remember that when we enter that JM, we run out. So be very careful because if you try to leave this mission, the JM will be lost, therefore you will not be able to get those 4. I don't remember what it's called, so I can enter the variant chamber. Okay, in this case, because it is important to bring characters from the saga, because you are already seeing that they put rocky loads on us at the same time as we stop or hit us on the opponent. So with that, we are going to be able to get Furies when we reach 15 to see if we can arrive and throw a super attack. There you are going to see how we won that Fury, and in this way, well, we do even more damage to the opponent in this way, since we get more damage and more development and easier when fighting. Be very careful with Dr. Dan, who may be bothering us a little. We have also become unstoppable because that node we have, that ability that our friend Lamol gives us is valid in this case. And we are going to go to the next one. Remember that this mission only gives us Mysterium and can be done 4 times. And that Mysterium is recharged again in those 4 passes. So don't be afraid to complete it 100% both ways. Because when you do it again, you will be late that one. Ministerium, therefore, it is important to do those 4 steps and complete them to be able to open the Chamber of Variance 3 well, to be able to face the bosses who in this case ask us. It is worth being very careful with the Destroyer, which may be bothering us a little bit due to that accumulation of power that they have massive, and it is also unstoppable that can bother us a little bit. Let's see if we reach 15 charges. There we are, 15 charges. We throw super attack 2, and I think we charge it by a wow. Almost. We leave you good with directly the disadvantages of plasma. I don't remember what it's called with those disadvantages that we left with in Efaria, because it ends up falling easily. We go down the right path again, we collected that Mysterium again, so we could remember to recharge those good items in the Merchant's Chamber, and we go against this man from Aragon. Let's see, because in this case, we should be charging those energy accumulations faster than life. To that accumulation of power that Dragonman has, and in this case they are super simple fights, you are already seeing that they are C-nodes. In reality, the complicated fights come later along with the bosses that Kaban wants to give us this week, which we are now going to see. So in 0, when we finish with this character, we are going to know which ones are these characters. Alright, let's hope they are easier than last week, because there were some that did annoy some to a great extent. The value of the defense, very well. In this case, only like the previous time, I am going to record one of the fights. And the rest, we are going to get the best counters for the other characters. Very well, we claim what that object has been to enter the chambers of the variants. And we are going directly to see the character as long as we are going to face each other. We are going to the Chamber of Variance 3 again. We are going directly, which is, we have Oman Torch there as if he were the boss, level 5 threat, and we are going to give him a preview. Okay, we are already seeing that we have a Human Torch. I think we are going to go this way. First, he tells us every 7 seconds the defender has a Fury improvement and 10 seconds begins attack force. These improvements start on pause. but they begin to expire when the defender is intercepted. Whenever the defender is knocked down, the attacker has a fury upgrade that increases the attack by 10 seconds. Every 7 seconds, all the effects of cruelty, fury, and precision are copied. Because by the attacker program, but with a random disadvantage on the defender, it is worth disorienting every time the attacker is Quiva attack has a random improvement. Is it worth it? Well, this is very good. Every time the attacker blocks an attack, he gets an indefinite fury upgrade, okay? Every 7 seconds. The next active handicap on the defender is purified immediately whenever the defender, and if the defender is under the effects of 5 more upgrades or has an indestructible passive until all upgrades expire or are cancelled. Okay, in this case, I think we are going to put in a character who is from the Fantastic Four saga and who can be semi-immune to incineration. I think with Phoenix, we could be working pretty well. I think it is. Yes, no. Perfect incineration, because I believe that with Dark Phoenix on top, we will gain improvements, therefore it will benefit us quite well. Even so, I'll tell you later, we are going to get the best counters to give these characters both in Chumana, as we are seeing Psychoman Nova and Ghost Rider. It is very good, because here we are going to be very careful because we are going to be stopped with the dodges. They are going to be giving us an advantage, and he is going to be gaining those latent fury improvements that we have to be doing. So, intercepting them to be able to eliminate them, because when he reaches 5, he will get an advantage. Sorry for indestructible, therefore, in this case, well, he will be totally indestructible and we cannot do any damage to him. So come, you have to take a couple of improvements. Come, you see Justin indestructible. Well, in this case, he doesn't want to come. There we are. We have to remove more improvements again. Let's see if he wants to leave us. Because he's not leaving us at all. This character is a little passive, but well, let's see. Come on, that's now, yes, you have just finished, and we can now develop Felix Oscura, which in this case we leave what it is called disadvantages of what Yamanova says, that they are not acting on Human Torch. But well, yes, they are acting. I'm seeing it. I thought they weren't going to be acting it, but hey, it seems to be working well. He has already become indestructible again because he has more than 5 upgrades. This is what we have to be trying not to happen with the Human Torch, because if not, it may be bothering us to a great extent. Now you are seeing how we are doing absolutely no harm, and it is back again at 5. Okay, careful, very careful, perfect and careful. He just hit us, come on. There we are, we can now hurt him, we throw super attack 2. In reality, it is a fight that we simply have to be intercepting to be able to take away those advantages. Okay, oops, right there I made a mistake and I went forward. Come on, that's very good. We throw super attack 1, there we go. Charging him little by little, ready, very good. He becomes indestructible again, we make an interception again. If he makes it clear to us, there we are, and we just take away that improvement and throw super attacks again. Let's see. He has pulled us back, made us indestructible, and we have finished with him. Here, friends, it is important to carry a character that is easy for you to intercept. Okay, here it is key that any character who is good at intercepting with Benefaria can serve you very well because we are gaining those improvements. Actually, any character can also work for you, but here it is also very important that it is immune to incineration, because otherwise we may have problems with this character. We go with Psychomar to see what he has. They block as well programmed. The attacker starts a 7-second timer. Executable attacker that well programmed gives us a flutter hits the automatic blocking lock. The defender makes an attacker, suffers a shock disadvantage. Careful with that. Whenever the attacker gets an unstoppable, unblockable, indestructible, copy power, or illusion effect, the defender gets the enhanced version, so we can't have those enhancements. 100% of all damage that the defender receives with the effect of physical damage. It is also inflicted on the attacker as direct damage. The defender has a 90% chance of automatically blocking basic attacks. This probability is reduced by 15% for each improvement in the attacker, as long as the automatic block probability is above 0. I give you, it has a 100% probability of blocking destruction. So friends, here it is very important to include a character that generates that blocking destruction. It can be Medusa, it can be V or X, it can be characters that in the end avoid that automatic lock and not a character that generates many improvements. It is also important to include a character who does not do physical damage, but rather because of disadvantages, integration, or something like that, to prevent that damage from being returned to us as direct damage. It seems that Psychoman, as always, has to be forced to have Super Attack 1, which is the easiest to avoid and you won't have any kind of problem with it.
We go with Ghost Rider. It tells us every time attacker blocks a more block attack, this is reduced by 6% and then becomes blocked. After 10 times, the defender receives 20% less damage from sources in Zero Super Attacks active 2003 from attacker, has an active deficiency effect, ebb and flow, or strong attack. You have to pull hard, and whenever the attacker knocks down the defender with a strong attack, he has 8 seconds to use a super attack. When the defender runs forward, he purifies all the disadvantages and we turn into the disadvantages. So friends, here we have no choice but to use a character that activates efficiencies. Here it can be a spot can be its own, storm, pyramid, Xan, and be very careful because here we are going to have to be throwing the super attack as soon as we throw the hard blow. Okay, because when we have the hard blow, the Tukado and Sunken thing will happen and they can be taking up to 50% of our life if we don't throw the super quick attack. So be very careful. The Gob Ride in theory should not be complicating anyone. Simply using a DOS2 classic storm, pyramid X, or characters, anyone that increases efficiency will be there for us. Working, and finally we go with Nova. The basic attacker attacks do not imply damage to the attacker. They obtain 400% strength during super attacks. Every time the defender makes a disadvantage, he removes it by 10%. When the defender activates a super attack, the attacker gains a power bar. This is the only way to get power every 10 seconds the defender, or has a block improvement for 2 seconds. That may be bothering us a little, and when the attacker has a power bar, an 8-second timer starts. Attacker arrives, do not use a super attack before the timer. Spire suffers a raise of direct damage. Here you have to be very careful because let's remember that the only way to get power is that Nova threw away the super attacks, therefore a character who does a lot of damage due to super attacks is key here. In this case, the best counter I am seeing is America Chavez's La Bonachona, but in reality, any mystical character to be able to nullify both Nova's advantages and to be able to have a fairly powerful super attack. For example, One Usala or something like that will work very well for us. Simply avoid the stops, and as always, try those without blocking them, or a character that you are without blockable such as a snake can also be. Or see Holderless's own. It's a very simple fight. So friends, this way we would have the best hunters for this week number 3. I hope you liked the Soge video and you're not there, and see you in other videos. Bye bye.